Hello everyone and welcome to the Bit of Popcorn. In this video I will do the recap on a Black Mirror episode that's called Let's Play. After the recap I will tell you some interesting facts about this episode. Sit down comfortable in your chairs, buckle up and enjoy the show. Cooper, played by Wyatt Russell, leaves his home to travel the world while living with his mom. He avoids answering his mom's calls because he finds it hard to talk to her after his dad got sick with early Alzheimer's and passed away. While he's in London, just before he plans to come back home, he meets Sonia. He suddenly realizes he doesn't have enough money in his bank account to go back home. Sonia then introduces him to an app called Odd Jobs that has different tasks he can do to earn money. He finds a task related to a video game company called Saitogimo nearby. At the company's building he meets Katie, who takes him to a white room to try out new technology. Even though she tells him to turn off his phone for security, he turns it back on to send Sonia a picture of the technology. Then she asks him to sign a form and inject something into his back of his head. Cooper is following Katie's instructions. Cooper has fun playing a game using the 3D graphics technology. After the game, Katie asks if he wants to try another experiment at the company. She introduces him to Shu, the one in charge. Shu explains the new technology which is meant to learn things from his brain and tries to scare him. Cooper agrees to join the next test. Katie takes him to a mansion similar to the one from a Saitogimo video game and gives him an earpiece to communicate before leaving. After a few little surprises and nervous talk with Katie, the earpiece stops working and Sonia shows up unexpectedly, warning Cooper of danger. He thinks she's a hologram from the technology, but he can actually touch her. Sonia grabs a knife and starts scaring Cooper. He tries to escape but is confronted by a mutant spider. He gets hurt. And after a struggle, he accidentally impales Sonia on the knife. After a minute of intense pain, Sonia and the knife vanish. Katie talks to Cooper again through the earpiece, telling him to go to an access point in the house to end the test. Cooper thinks she's trying to frighten him, but he goes there anyway. Katie starts asking him questions and he realizes he's losing his memories and doesn't recognize himself in a mirror. Suddenly Katie and Shu burst in, saying the technology has gone too far into his brain and can't be turned off. Suddenly Cooper seems to wake up back in the room where Katie and Shu began the experiment. Shu apologizes for the fear he caused Cooper, explaining the game wasn't meant to be so scary. Cooper goes back home to his mother, but she doesn't recognize him. She keeps repeating that she needs to call Cooper and tries to dial his number. Then it's revealed that Cooper is still in the white room where Katie brought him. He gets an electric shock and falls down dying. Shu enters asking what happened. Katie suggests the phone interfered with the technology. Shu tells Katie to report the test. As they do, Cooper's body is put into a bag. Katie notes that the experiment lasted a tiny 0.04 seconds, blaming Cooper's phone for his death and mentioning he called Mom as he died.
Mom! 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 Mom!
In late October 2016, the company Netflix released the third season of Black Mirror, popular British TV series about a dark future for humanity. Most of the episodes explore how the technology affects human relationships. However, the second episode from the third season, titled Playlist, might interest those who enjoy interactive entertainment and references to well-known games. In this video, I've collected all the key scenes, references, and quotes from the episode that made us smile while watching. It's not that hard to find people in the world who love playing games. It's much tougher to find them in the movie industry, but that's not the case of the creators of the show, Charlie Brooker, and the director of the second episode of the third season, Dan Trachtenberg. Both of them have been familiar with the world of interactive entertainment for quite some time. Charlie used to be a journalist for a magazine called PC Zone, and Dan was one of the founders of the popular geeky video podcast The Totally Rad Show, where they also discussed and evaluated video games. Their experience and knowledge undoubtedly helped them them make playtest more authentic. In fact, one of the leading actresses in the series has direct connection to Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. Hannah John Kamen, who's by the way Sonia, lent her voice to Ciaran, the Lord of Blade, in the first part of the series, and to Sweet Shalquar in the second part. If you were observant while watching the episode, you might have noticed not just one or two, but several real things related to games. For instance, right at the beginning, in front of the main character, a young man named Cooper, a huge mural with the level from original Pac-Man will appear. Later on, he carefully examines the apartment of a sweet and friendly girl named Sonia and accidentally comes across a shelf with her large collection of games. Among them, you can spot legendary projects like Resident Evil Code Veronica, Manhunt, Silent Hill Homecoming, BioShock 2, Dead Space 2, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Resident Evil Revelation, Dark Souls 2, Until Dawn, Portal 2, Thief, the Lego Movie video game, Heavy Rain, Gran Turismo 6, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Call of Duty Ghost, and many others. It seems that the creators of the series really enjoy some of these games. When he goes inside the world's most secret game studio, he will see a whole shelf with a different collection in one of the rooms. This time it's a collection of old game consoles, including PlayStation, Game Boy, GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. It's also clear that the team from Black Mirror was helped by publisher of the popular British video game magazine called Edge. Their magazine covers can be seen here and there throughout the episode. Often during the conversations, the characters of the episode refer to various video games. Sonia starts flirting with Cooper after she notices surprise on his face caused by shelves filled with games. She asks the main character,
"A girl never beat you at Street Fighter?"
A little while after that scene, Cooper himself does a small bow toward the same series. He notices that one of the guards in the game studio looks like a virtual boss from a fighting game. He playfully says the phrase,
Hadouken!
which is related to the game. Later on, to lighten the mood, Cooper jokes about the name of the special device called Grip, made by a company to fully immerse people in virtual reality.
Like Mario Brothers?
Then he plays a game that's a lot like Whack-A-Mole. Another reference to the gaming industry can be seen in the introduction of the character named Shu Saito. With his manners and mysterious personality, he really reminds us of Hideo Kojima, the creator of the game Metal Gear and many other games. The mansion that Cooper enters is a clear hint to the house from the original Resident Evil game. And the main virtual reality device, which the protagonist wears on his head at some point in the series, is based on the latest trends in the industry like PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, and HoloLens. Remember when Cooper goes completely crazy at the very end of the series, how he follows all the orders from a mysterious voice in his ear, even though there is no real reason for it, or how he refuses to open the last door on the second floor until the person on the other end of the line asks him very politely,
"Would you kindly open the door?"
Yep, the creators of this game series are giving a clear nod to BioShock and its famous line, "Would you kindly?"
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
In BioShock, a guy named Frank Fontaine, also known as Atlas, used this phrase to control the main character Jack. The writers of this new game are saying something similar. They believe that people often follow instructions or rules without asking questions, just like in irrational games. This can make them lose their own freedom. Throughout most of the episodes, we only hear the main character's name, Cooper, but no one ever calls him by his last name. The secret is revealed in very last minutes of the series when the assistant to the head of the game studio, Katie, writes a report about incident that happened, and she fills in Cooper's real last name in the field, drum roll Redfield, which connects us to the famous Resident Evil franchise, especially to the siblings Chris and Claire Redfield. Do you have anything else to add? Please share your thoughts in the comments. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, and see you in the next episode.